Hello, this video is dedicated to psx-comBINe for leaving a comment on my YouTube channel about my Bchunk video, which said, how do you do this for multiple bin files in a Q file instead of just for one and one? I've got a multi-track Sega Saturn ISO here, which is Mega Man X4, which has 3 bin files in one Q file. I'm going to try to run this through Bchunk now and see what I get. Nothing, because Bchunk only accepts one bin file for the input. You can't use anything after that. Now it took track 2 bin and track 3 bin out of the command just to see if Bchunk will deal with this exact syntax with everything individually being in quotes. It looks like everything went alright, but it didn't. You see there, output 02 is 0 bytes, so that's not what should happen at all. This is actually a limitation of the Bchunk program. It's only able to deal with bin and Q files that have one bin file and one Q file. If it has 2 files or more, it's not going to work, but there is a way around it. There's a free program called binmerge on GitHub. You can just go to the page and click releases and you can download the latest release. It says Win64 on here for the Windows release, but this is a Linux release, it just doesn't say it. If you're trying to download the file from GitHub, you're going to see this. You're just going to have to make it executable, but I was copying this to whatever folder I was using it in, and then I just decided that I got tired of that really quick. So all you need to do is chmod +x binmerge, and then I already did that. So after you get that done, sudo cp binmerge /usr/bin, and then it'll be in the path and you won't have to just keep copying it when you want to use it. I just want to show that this is pretty easy to use on the command line. You can type in --outdir optionally to specify an output directory. Because the GitHub said to do this, I was just putting everything in quotes. Let's say I'm just going to call the output output. Okay, there's a folder called temp. And here's the ISO. Okay, now let's try Bchunk on this and see what kind of output we get. Okay, just to check file sizes. Okay, nothing is 0 bytes. That's probably a good sign. I want to see if binmerge is doing its job right. Let's take a look at the Q sheet. Okay, these are all at different locations except for the first one, which is just 00. That makes sense. I'm going to try Yaba Sanshiro really quick. Okay, output Q. Looking good so far. Okay, I had to cut off that video. I want to show you one more cool feature of binmerge. You can just go --split and it'll use the opposite functionality. So if I look at the Q sheet, you see since they're all on 0 on index 00, that means they're all separate tracks. This is just a whole lot of command line, and some of you might prefer a graphic user interface. There is a binmerge-gui. You can get that off GitHub as a free download, and you can run it with Windows or just run it through Wine on Linux. I wanted to show this off really quick. Okay, there's the original cue sheet. Now destination cue bin. I'll just have it go to the same folder. Okay, let's see if this came out. Yep, nice. There's one more program that works in Linux called psx-comBINe. It works in Windows, and that's the only download they have, but you got to do a couple extra things to get this to work in Linux. You've got to install this dependency right here, and then you've got to clone the GitHub page, which I'm going to do right now, and it's real easy to compile this. I'm just going to cheat and do this the easy way. Okay, I'm on an 8 core, so I'm just going to say make-j6. I still do get that error message at the top, no such file or directory, but it doesn't seem to affect it. Okay, when you're done, you just go into bin/Linux, and that's where your executable is. All it does though is just merge bin files. It does not split them. Okay, I'm going to test this really quick. It makes its own subdirectory automatically. It's a nice program and it works well. Let me check file sizes. Looks like everything came out good then. There's one more thing I know of, but it's only for Linux, that actually combines bin and cue files, but it also converts them into CHD. It's just me 488's game converter. I already downloaded the Debian and installed it, and it's always under accessories. It works good, and I would say fast most of the time, unless it's something really big. I always select CHDman version 5, and it comes with everything it needs. I'm so glad I paused it. That took a couple of minutes. Okay, there's the CHD file right there, 358.8 megabytes versus 528, and I guarantee it'll work. Okay, let's try it. Okay, I just want to see like the Capcom logo maybe, and that's it. There we go. Okay, I didn't mean to be so long-winded. That's all I've got to demo right now, and I just want to say thanks again, SixSkater1, for leaving that comment. That was a great question to ask. I thought about that myself, but I just didn't have the answer before, so I'm glad you asked the question. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching this video. I'll see you guys soon.